themselves. But I'm very delighted to be able to talk to you this morning about Meath as a location in which to do business. And I'm happy to say, Jerry, was delighted to hear you mention about the West, because when I worked as county manager with Leitrim County Council, I actually sat on the Western Development Commission for a period of time. So I'm very, very aware of all the work they do and how they try and attract business to the West Coast. But I suppose I'm now trying to attract business to the East Coast, and obviously in particular to Meath. Very much, sorry now. Sorry, you can't see the screen, yes?
Yeah, we can. It is working well.
That's good.
We can see the screen.
Good. So really, I suppose Meath, really what I want to talk to you about this morning and what we've been trying to do over the past, I suppose, 7 years is highlight Meath as a place in which to do business. We're very much connected. Obviously, accessibility is very much an issue for any business setting up. We have a highly skilled workforce, not just in the county, but in the greater region, obviously, that we're in. The fact that we are a close proximity to Dublin and being part of the greater Dublin region, as it is known. We've quite a lot of space, both the built environment and obviously space in which you can come either to set up business or relocate. And as a local authority, we, I suppose, pride ourselves in having a very connected approach in how we meet businesses. But I suppose one of our key assets would be, as because of us being on the East Coast of Ireland, we have direct access to Ireland's largest airport, to the ports. We've also got an excellent infrastructure of high motorways, and we're very much aware, I suppose, that for business, you know, you either accessing the country, getting your products out is very much an issue. So as a county, as a location, we're very accessible. But, you know, we also have a very skilled workforce. As I said, because we're in that greater Dublin area, you know, if you were anyone coming to set up businesses, would have a resource of 1.8 million literally on their doorstep, because of the region that we're in. And they are very high skilled workforce. 57% of that population are third level graduates. And indeed within our own county, we have a very high educated and skilled workforce. And so some of that, we're aware of that because of obviously the census, but we do foster and maintain, you know, very good relations with the third level bodies that we're surrounded by, be it in Kildare, Dublin, in Dundalk, Athlone. And we know, while we are the population that the working population that live within Meath, we are outside of the Dublin region. We are the largest, or were the largest, I should say, commuting population up until COVID, obviously. But we had up to 33,000 people leaving the county every morning, commuting, and a lot of that was commuting into the Dublin region. But of that, we're very much aware that 41% of that workforce they're very well educated, they're in management positions, professional provisions, even professional services, some are even running their own companies. And I suppose the other advantage that we have within the county, because of the data that we have acquired, we're very much aware that we have 37 different languages spoken within the county. As obviously anyone is interested, you know, sites, areas to set up business is obviously a key asset for anybody coming to set up. So we very much have zoned sites within in very good prime locations. We're presently doing our county development plan. It's almost at adoption stage, and I suppose just to make you aware that every county has a county development plan, but that county development plan actually determines how the county is developed in a very sustainable way. And I was really glad to hear John speak of the Sustainable Development Goals, because just in the past 8 months as a local authority, we have embraced the Sustainable Development Goals and endorsed them. And going forward, in preparing our development plan, we have done that in the mindset of a sustainable community going forward, from all of the aspects that were referenced. But I suppose really we have prided ourselves over the last period of time of really having a very can-do attitude in the county, of really reaching out to help any business, whether they want to as a new startup or even as a relocation. We have very close relationships with the national bodies that deal with job creation, Enterprise Ireland and IDA. And working with our own team and with particularly the IDA and Enterprise Ireland, that guarantees that we're able to provide the highest service to clients who come knocking at our door. As well, it's about being proactive and ensuring that there are no perceived barriers to anyone that may want to relocate their business to Meath. We've a very strong team in place, our economic development team and our planning teams. They're very skilled in what they do, and they possess the experience and the confidence to work with any business that come to us to get you through, particularly the planning process, because we'll be very much aware that the planning process can be quite bureaucratic. There's a lot of issues that people must consider, particularly climate change and the environmental issues. So we have a team in place that will work with a business to take you through those issues, very much at the pre-planning stage. So what we try to do is, if we get an interest, if we get a query, we'd say, look, please work with us, work with our teams, work with our transport teams, our planning teams, our environmental teams, our climate change teams, so that you have dealt with a lot of the issues that may be perceived and need to be dealt with through the planning process. And that has been very successful for us. So really what we're trying to do there is trying to head off maybe any difficulty, any problem that we might perceive. But of course, that's not always possible, because, the public have a right to make comments and make submissions on it. But what we try and do is work with you before that to ensure that we can, and that you have dealt with, or at least been made aware of any issues that we might see that could pose a problem for you. But I suppose one other aspect that obviously, as prospective employers are interested in, your people working for you, they need to know that they're living in a good place, that we have the affordable level of housing, that we have housing available, that we have the public parks, we have the playgrounds, we have the schools, and very much we have that. And again, we will work with anybody who's interested, who needs that information to attract the right employee to your company. And also Meath, and again, I suppose this morning we talk about St. Patrick, but St. Patrick was very much alive in Meath, be it on the Hill of Tara, the Hill of Slane, and we're very proud of the tourism attraction that we have, particularly, I suppose, of our world famous tombs, Newgrange, which I have a picture there of, now a UNESCO site, and we work hard to ensure that the tourism product, part of the Boyne Valley, that is promoted as much as possible where we can, and it is very much a beautiful county in which to visit, but it also very much in where to live. And we have been very successful over the past period of time, and indeed, anyone coming to set up their business will be in very good company with us. We've been very successful in attracting Facebook and Amazon of us recently, and particularly, I suppose, looking back to one of the previous speakers, Grisham, where we have MSD, Merck Sharp Dome, who've recently set up at Dunboyne, taken over a company that was Shire, previously Takeda. So we're very much, I suppose, winning the pharmaceutical companies back to the county as well, which we're really delighted, but I suppose does take a lot of work. But it's very much, we see, about connecting with people, connecting with businesses, and I suppose promoting the region that we're in. So we are very committed to attracting new businesses to Meath. Anything that is needed that we found about the county can be found on www.makeitmeath.ie. And as I say, we have a good, strong reputation of working with businesses to help you set up in the right location. I hope you can see that very stunning picture of our heritage here in Trim. It's our Norman Castle. But we have partnered, and I suppose it's how we promote the county in all sorts of ways, particularly tourism. So just to finish with a little bit of a tune, we, as I say, oh, has that stopped?
No, it is, I think, refreshing.
Is it? Oh dear. I should have pressed it more quickly. I don't think I'm going to get it, Prashant. I'm not seeing it here.
Okay.
Well, really what it was we had partnered with Temple Bar and Tradfest, and we had a group called The Stunning blasting out their song Brewing Up a Storm at Trim Castle, and that's gone out across all of the globe trying to promote Meath as a place for tourism. Okay, so look, that's just a little taste of Meath. Hope you've got a flavour of it, and happy to talk to anybody at any stage about setting up business in Meath or even tourism in Meath.